it's fame. I touched it for a very brief moment,
Yeah.
and then you see yourself coming down, and that's the worst thing that can happen to you, and a good thing too. Social media, I would say, the first problem. Social media, and I think social anxiety too.
Hey, Starborn community, I'm here with Jasim Haider, musician, actor, and filmmaker. And he's also part of Jasim and the Pindi Boys. How are you, Jasim?
Good.
You good?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your background. What's your past, etc. Like, what bring you here to this moment, right?
Well, thank you for having me here, first of all.
Thank you, man.
And I am originally from Pakistan, and I've moved to Canada, and I've recently moved to Vancouver from Saskatoon. Yeah.
Well, what's a little bit of your professional background?
Yeah,
What lead you to this point of your career?
Well, every time people ask me that question, and I end up saying a lot of things because I am a lot of things, and I can't put that in a paragraph, but I'll try. I'm a film graduate. I'm a filmmaker first.
Yeah.
And and then I'm a musician. I've been a singer-songwriter for as long as I could remember, and I am a founder of Stooners, a company, an agency that I've found 3 years ago, and I am making documentaries, making social media content for my clients.
Gotcha.
I am also doing documentary series and lots of YouTube series and stuff, and podcasts too. I'm a musician. I'm a filmmaker, and I've just recently jumped into acting, which I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I jumped in 2 years back. I did an acting course from New Image College, Vancouver.
Gotcha.
And just signed an agent, and sending out self tapes and all the whatever the actors do.
Yeah. 100%. And well, I know you got a big background and base on what is music, right? I want you to a little bit chat with us. What's the start of all that career?
Yeah.
To what point it led you, and what does it mean now for Jasim?
Yeah, I was a shy kid. I would take it from that far, because when I was 13, I started playing guitar, and I'm talking about 2002. It was way back in the day when there weren't any YouTube. There was no friends who were playing guitar, but I just wanted to buy a guitar and play it. I didn't have any teachers around me, so I learned myself. And then
no Ableton, no Logic Pro X,
nothing. And then we used to have those cassettes, and we used to rewind and play and see what chords they're playing.
Yeah.
Then someone told me about Ultimate Guitar, and there are tabs that you can watch, and and just finding out tabs of my favorite songs and all. Then I got a professional training, and so that's where music was a channel for me to express myself, and I was not singing at the time. So I would say that first thing in my life was music, and that is something that defines me as an artist. Music. I went into a film degree, 4 years as a program. It was majors in film production, but it had every other thing, like graphic design, editing, acting, direction, lighting, like all the things that are
the artistic pack, basically.
Yeah, journalism and everything. I found a lot of my talent there, as a filmmaker, as a DP, as a musician, as an actor. But I still chose music and documentary filmmaking to my first two building blocks, where I started my, they were my two channels.
Yeah. When
I graduated, I got my first job, better than anyone else in
your class.
My class.
Yeah.
I was producer director MTV. It was big at the time. Like, this is the time where there were VJs.
Okay.
There was TV and music, and there was fashion. Everything was one
was
thing.
the MTV boom, right?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Not the boom, but like it was still around.
It was rolling around. Okay,
it was still around. Channel V and MTV, they were still around, and I remember I was part of MTV Unplugged back home in Pakistan, part of that team, and part of my job as a producer director was to people used to send their tapes, and at the time they used to send their music videos on tapes, those small
Yeah.
tapes, and I used to sit in the library and watch those music videos. And part of my job was to approve it if this video should be on TV or not. And being a musician myself, I was like, and at the time it was like progressive rock
Okay.
was more in the scene.
Well, interesting genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was more into country, blues, pop,
Love that.
which is not like I was more into 80s sound,
Yeah.
which is now is in the trend, but at the time it was
I know.
people
I know.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't hear what I want to hear. I'm a musician myself, and I heard, I read this quote on the internet, be the change that you want to see. Like, okay, so I'm going to be the change that I want to see. I'm going to start writing songs. And I started writing songs, and didn't tell anyone. I was very shy. I was so shy. I was so shy in the class that if we had to present, I couldn't present in front of my class. My class.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. So what I did, what I used to do is like make a documentary of what I want to present about and just play that video. And it was good enough. Like teachers liked it, and everything.
It was innovative too.
Innovative in a way, but
it was innovative. Like
yeah.
if you go to a business like class and you see someone presenting with just a video,
Yeah.
like documentary stuff, that's kind of innovative and actually get like the shortcut to not you 2%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was very shy. So I didn't tell anyone that I'm singing or writing a song, and I was so shy that I was not putting up song from my own profile, and randomly I think uploaded randomly a song on my brother's YouTube and my brother's Facebook page and his SoundCloud, because I didn't want to tell people that I'm singing. I was very shy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Then I've written some other songs, and then I started to release it on my own page, and started to tell people that I'm actually writing songs now. And yeah, so made a couple of bands, broke up, and I just kept myself strong, and then a couple of songs really became big. I was born and raised in a city called Rawalpindi, and it has a lot of history. The city has a lot of history to it, and 8 years back we moved to a city called Karachi. Karachi is like you can say Toronto of Pakistan.
Okay.
The hub, the main thing,
like the Silicon Valley, pretty much.
Yeah,
like the
commercial hub and everything.
Yeah.
8 years back when I moved back to Rawalpindi,
yeah,
I saw this big divide. So it's a twin city. So we've got Rawalpindi on one side, and there's the capital city Islamabad on the other side, and they're joined together.
Yeah.
And together we call them twin cities. It's really close. It's like you can say Burnaby and Vancouver.
Gotcha.
And I saw this divide. It
was divided in terms of young people, or
yeah, there was a stereotype. Like,
okay,
people of in the capital city Islamabad, they were like, we're the cooler ones, and like Pindi boys aren't that cool, and don't let them.
And otherwise, right?
Yeah, don't. They used to say that don't let them come in our malls. Don't let them come to our festivals, and they're not cool.
Wow.
And I was born in Pindi, and I was like, when I came back, and I was like, this divide is actually really, really, it's not cool.
Yeah, it's hurting.
And I saw my friends, introducing themselves that they're from Islamabad and not from Pindi. It's like we are from Pindi. We shouldn't say that we're from Islamabad. And they're like, we can't say that, because if you say it, then we will be canceled and they won't talk to us. And this happened to me actually when I started saying, I'm from Pindi. I saw this change in expressions, this change in their actions, and I was like, there's something needs to be done, and this is not good.
Yeah.
And I was teaching a course in this college. I was teaching a course on film, and there was a kid from Pindi in my class, and I used to see all the students when I was teaching making fun of that kid because he's from Pindi, and he used to have that funky bike, which is one of the icons of Pindi boys.
Wow.
And I was like, I need to do something, And then that whole thinking came out as a song, and the song is called Pindi Boys.
That's the song, right?
That's the song.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, we are Pindi Boys, and yes, we are quirky boys, and this is our style, and we're proud of it. The whole song is about that, and I released that song in 2014. and just released it. It was a very slow internet. I remember we released it at 5 a.m. in the morning, and we just went out, slept, and 4 or 5 hours later, my friend called and he's like, "Wake up! That song is getting viral. People are going crazy on the song." I woke up and saw like 200, 300,000 views, and at the time, 300,000 views on a
Was a lot.
song is huge.
It's huge. Yeah.
People were downloading that song and they were sharing on WhatsApp, and
Wow.
it was crazy. Like people were recognizing me from that song, and um, yeah, and then when that became really famous, then I made a new band with my younger brother as a drummer. There were two other friends who used to live nearby, and we were thinking of a name to call our band. I was like, let's call it Jasim and the Pindi Boys, because we are Pindi Boys, and that's how we named the band. And then we made an album. We toured the entire country. We played that song all over the media, and we became big and kind of famous too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So one of the things that when we had our private chat and stuff, and we actually met each other, there's one of the things that I love that you said to me. You got to be lost for find yourself.
Right.
And I can relate, and I can understand that comes from and is rooted from all this musician part that you got in yourself.
Yeah.
Because probably the audience doesn't know, but I also have a music background, right? And I know how it actually works, right? And it's a lot of being lost, and I think a lot of artists seek for being lost, for find themselves,
Yeah.
and talk at that,
Yeah.
like, and do music from that, or have friend stories or people, right? I want you to give, what's your perspective on being lost? Why it's so important for young people sometimes to be lost, and how that like piece of advice can help them,
Yeah.
and level up their whatever they're seeking for.
Right. Yeah. Funny enough, I just released a song, and it's about that. It's the metaphor of the song is about lost at sea. It's on Spotify and YouTube and everywhere. And
Go hear it, guys.
People can find out. Yeah, because there's been a couple of times I've been lost in my life, and every time I just trusted myself every time. And right now, when I wrote this song, I was like, this was the biggest timeline, the biggest period where I saw nothing happening. And this was the time I really thought, I'm actually lost now. I don't know what's going to happen. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? And in your 20s and mid 30s, this usually happens too. How I would say, and I've tried to understand this whole phenomena of being lost, and this fits perfectly what where I'm from. I'm from Pakistan, so I've always been a misfit in that culture. The music that I used to consume, not my friends were not consuming that kind of music, so I was a
Judged.
misfit.
Yeah.
The culture Pakistan has, I was a misfit in that. Maybe religion too. I don't know. I didn't fit myself in any sort of culture there. Um, I was born in a Punjabi family, so um, in Pindi Punjabi family, I never spoke Punjabi. I could speak a little bit, but I can understand, but I
Rarely.
can't speak.
Yeah.
So if someone would say that I'm a Punjabi, I wouldn't say that I'm a Punjabi because I can't speak Punjabi properly. We moved to Karachi. That's a Urdu place. People used to speak proper Urdu.
Yeah.
And they used to make fun of me because I had an accent in Urdu, and it was like I have an accent that Punjabis have. So I was a misfit there, and I felt left out too. People used to make their groups, and I used to be left out. And then when I came back to Pindi, same thing happened. Islamabad, the capital city, people, they have their own groups. The Pindi have their own groups. I'm a misfit. And I never tried to fit myself in any situation. When I came here, yeah, and I would also add that coming from a film background, I was a film graduate. Entering the music scene in 2011, I was again a misfit because there were people who were playing music for 6, 7 years now, and they're seeing this guy who's a producer at MTV and a filmmaker jumping to music. I was a misfit. And they were like, yeah. So people didn't accepted me as a musician at first. Again, I didn't give up. And then now when I came to Canada, again, I mean, I'm in a different country, different language. I'm not a Pakistani anymore in a sense that I don't I'm cut off from that country. I don't know what's happening there. When I go back, it's home, but it's different. I don't live there anymore, so my home is in Canada. When I come to Canada, this is my home, but it's not my home anymore. So it's like you will always feel that you don't belong.
Yeah.
And you have to make that feeling your friend. And that is the key to find yourself, because if you and I'm also a big follower of Osho, that his teachings, and I've been reading about him and Buddhism, and you need to disconnect yourself for any cognitive
Yeah. Yeah.
dissonance.
Any frequency that is not yours.
Yeah, and just find yourself.
Yeah.
And don't associate yourself with anything else in the world. And then only then you realize what your own frequency is. So being lost is a good thing. Yeah, you will find yourself in a very surprising way, and you'll find your colors. And yeah,
Well, I love what you're saying about like a little bit release what is not yours, because people trend when they're trying to find yourself, right? People trying to attach to things.
Yeah.
And sometimes they attach to the wrong things.
Yeah.
And make them feel more lost than they were. And what is something that you just seem applied to your young, I would say, mindset, or every time that you were lost, that it was a phrase that remained you calm, or maybe a philosophy that remained you calm, because you already said try to release, try to find yourself, etc. But those are things that you applied, or you understood now that you are older, right? That you can watch that from today perspective.
Yeah.
What was there that keep you in track? What was that piece of thing that keep you in that moment in track?
It was different every time. When I was getting to music, I saw people laughing at me, behind my back, and sometimes I've seen people laughing in front of me, and I was in my early 20s at the time, and it's really hard to see to be experiencing that.
I know.
I remember I was doing a job. That was the only time I did a 9 to 5, and my boss, she sat me on the table and she said, your music is your first love, and you're working in this agency. And this is different life.
Yeah.
So and she said, on the table, you need to decide, because what do you want to choose? Choose music or this agency, because at the end of the day, you have to see yourself in the mirror. Choose now. And I was like, I paused for a minute. I had no other income, and this is I'm talking about that I think I was 24 at the time. I was like, I choose music. I quit the job there, and like people saw that. People were like, are you crazy? You're going out to be a musician? That world is never promised. And I heard those kids who were internees laughing about it when I was walking out the door taking my stuff, that he's going out to be a singer. Yeah, and then 4 years later I was on TV,
Yeah.
playing my music, people coming taking selfies with me. But I trusted myself. It was sad, it was lonely, but it paid off. But this time around, when this was the biggest period, I think 3 years of being lost, where I sang when I wrote the song. I read the book called The Power of Now.
The Power of Now.
The Power of Now.
Haven't read that one. It's gonna be on my book list.
And it changed my life. It changed it. It helped me to be present in every moment. Just be present in now. Don't think about the future. Don't think of the past. Now, everything happens in the present. And there are certain exercises that you need to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of things actually connected and came full circle when I did acting, because there's lots of exercises that brings you to the present when
Yeah.
you're acting,
Yeah.
because you need to, say your dialogues and everything. But yeah, it has I think it has really helped me to be present and focus on what's happening right now.
Well, I generally connect with what you're saying. Actually, getting a little bit emotional. I've been there. But you said you were lonely. Have you ever, in these lost situations, got depressed, got to
Absolutely,
bottom rock?
man. It's just that's what life is. You're born and you're gonna go alone. I'm married. I've got a wife. I've got a kid. I've got parents. I've got my siblings and everyone. I've got friends. But what you're getting through in your life is your pain. And if you're a failure, well, failure is good, by the way, but the sadness that you're experiencing is yours.
Yeah.
Own it, and like people can help you, just being present with you and make you feel that you're not alone, but the truth is that you are alone.
Yeah.
And as soon as you realize that, just accept it, um eventually you'll find your way out, and you will be really calm within your own skin. And there are ways to experience that presence.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a big differentiator in people that actually can live in peace and not. Because people that don't live in peace, you're trying to look for validation every time.
Yeah.
Right? They're trying to put themselves in spots where people say, "Okay, you're doing nice, you're doing great." And the reality of it is, like 90% of the time, we are alone. We're alone doing what we have to do.
And there's a lot of pressure too, like with social media and everything. Like people are watching Instagram and thinking, someone else is enjoying their life and I'm not doing anything in my life. What am I doing? I mean, and just comparing ourselves with others constantly, hours on your phone. And you need to cut that out too.
Yeah.
That's a big reason why there's a lot of depression around. A lot of people are not feeling themselves because of social media.
So, Jason, you was in a sort of time to highlight reel. You was the Peony Boys, right? You were in that moment.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I accepted it,
What's the difference? I mean, I'm not saying in a bad way, obviously. Yeah. I mean, you own that, right? You aimed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yours.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this from a bottom rock point of everything, but what's the difference when you was there, down there, and when you were up there?
Yeah.
What's the difference, and what remained the same?
Yeah. Well, it's fame. I touched it for a very brief moment.
Yeah.
And then you see yourself coming down, and that's the worst thing that can happen to you, and a good thing too. I saw there was one time I was on stage, we performed. There was a lot of people standing in front of the stage, and there was not a lot of security. So when me and the band came down, everyone came in to take a selfie with me. And like I'm a short guy, and these like big, huge, tall people, girls and kids, and they want to take my autograph, they want to take selfie with me. I've seen that high. And after COVID hit, I see it going down. And and then I came to Canada where nobody knows me, so I'm rediscovering myself. And I just moved from Saskatoon. So Saskatoon, there's not a lot of people anyways in the city. And it's -50, it's -30, it's cold. I don't know anyone, nobody knows me. It's really, really tough. It gets really tough. I would say, suicidal and those depressing thoughts, I wouldn't say that I haven't thought about it. A lot of people go through it and they think about it. But just hang on it. Just go. Just keep walking. Don't stop. Don't stop. The good thing about life is it's in packages. You get a package. There are some good things in it and some bad things in it.
Yeah.
So focus on the good things in it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to change.
Yeah.
That phase is going to change, and you'll get a new package. They'll have new stuff in it. And it's a surprise. It's a box of chocolate, like Forrest Gump says.
Yeah.
Life is a box of chocolate. I'm actually really inspired by Forrest Gump too. Like he he was not smart enough to compare himself with others, and he just did what needed to be done, and look how successful he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the entrepreneurial mindset, right?
Yeah.
Seek for what needs to be done and etc. Well, one of the things that I've listened to you say the most now is keep walking. And sometimes keep walking can be really hard steps forward. What is something that you in your life, it was a purpose inside your heart that kept you walking? Because reality is you can't keep walking if you don't have something deep here
Right.
for fight for.
Right.
That's the first thing to do. Find it.
Yeah.
Right? What was you find? What was your finding?
Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure on people, especially early in your 20s, that you need to have a job, you need to earn money, and now there's hustle culture. You need to make your own business by the age 30. You need things sorted. What I did is, and I think I read this somewhere, that you need to have, so every business has a mission statement and a logo, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing you need to do as a person is find your mission statement and find a logo for yourself.
What a lovely quote. Yeah.
And what I found about myself is that I am there was a very really famous album by Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. Okay.
Where there's a triangle.
Yeah.
Is it Dark Side of the Moon?
I know what you're talking about. I'm not the biggest fan of Pink Floyd, but I know what album you're talking about.
So the album has triangle. There's light coming in, and there's colors coming out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think this is something that defines me. Why? Because I've got these different art and sections of things that I do. I am the medium of that.
No, I know where you're going now. Oh, it's incredible.
There's this light coming, this message coming from above.
Yeah.
God, you can say whatever. And I'm a medium, and I need to choose which color do I need to put that voice out. So if I could choose a documentary, music, acting, photography, I don't know. I've got this talent and that message. It's my job to choose that and be a medium for that thought. And I've always, and just every time I'm lost, I think about that. Wow. What I did is, this is how I came up with songs. Like, there are things that happen, I keep thinking about it, and it comes out as a song. I wanted to make a documentary series where I interview people that have inspiring stories, and I met this person. It's like, this should be my first episode. Wow. It's called People Next Doors. Interesting story about him. I made a documentary off him, and it really, I really got a lot of good, comments on it, and I'm still making those. Yeah. So this whole concept has always helped me find my way, and I've spent, time where there's not a lot of income coming, and and then, I think about the purpose. My purpose as an artist is to translate that message and choose the medium that expresses that message. And that is it. I'm going to leave this earth eventually, but I want to do what I'm meant to do, and that is that translation of the message that comes from above. Yeah.
I love that. I'm talking about purpose. Well, you obviously framed this with a lovely picture of Pink Floyd, right? But what do you think is the main problem that young people has in order to find a purpose?
Social media, I would say, the first problem. Social media, and I think social anxiety too.
Social anxiety.
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
That's because that's what I felt when I came out after COVID, and I see. I was having social anxiety talking to people. I was not that social. And I see a lot of these youngsters that are very conscious and very shy and I can see that they're getting really, tense about it. And so there's lots of loneliness I think, which is the younger crowd is going through. That is, I think, one of the main problems the younger crowd are going through. Um, what was your question again? Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah. What?
lost
No,
track
it's fine.
there.
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine. What do you think is the main problem? Why young people is not finding this purpose?
yeah. That's. I think the hustle culture, the entrepreneur, is a word everyone is talking about
Yeah, I know.
all the time, and just getting pressurized about it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of my friends who are doing survival jobs and just making ends meet. But at the end of the day, they're like, we need to make a business. We need to earn more money. Why do you want to earn more money? Okay, so
Yeah, that's a nice question. Why?
yeah,
Right? Because well, you were there in the pitch deck, and I want to just sightsee there and now. You remember when this girl that was from Nigeria came to stage and he said, you need to stick this with the purpose from back of your land because the problems are there,
right.
right? It's about the why, I think.
Yeah,
Right. I'm sorry that I interrupt you. So,
absolutely.
but
No, you're absolutely right.
I wanna put you in the frame just for keep this talk, and it's about the why. Because if you want to do money for ride a Lamborghini, ride a Porsche, it's fine. I mean, it could be
Yeah.
part of the payoff,
Yeah.
right? But why are you really doing this,
Right.
right? If you see like billionaires, millionaire stories, maybe I'm not accurate with what I'm going to say, but most of them don't came from rich families,
Yeah.
right? Why they got to that point,
Yeah.
right? There's a big why in that,
Right.
and that doesn't mean you don't have to be millionaire. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like if your why is having a nice family and have time to have a nice kid, to spend time with your kid, to be a family person, probably entrepreneurship is not going to be your way.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on what you're saying. Social media putting this pressure under people. I mean, above people that you got to do more money, you got to hustle, you got to do this, you got to do that. And sorry about word, but this fucking up people. It's fucking up people's minds.
Yeah.
And you're an entrepreneur. Why you're doing this? Why you're doing documentary? Why does your company of documentaries exist? Right? Because there is a deep why. I can tell there is a deep why. You have a lot of deep whys.
Yeah.
I can relate. Like I can see you. Why?
You're asking a question with me?
Why?
Like I said, I mean, the purpose that you said the right thing. I think the purpose is what's lacking. Like we see a lot of people talking about courses where how you can be a millionaire and take my course, be a millionaire by the in 2027. And and he comes out of a Lamborghini that he rented from a friend just to show you that he's a millionaire, but he's not, and he's selling you courses. I mean, uh purpose is the moment you are you accept yourself and you're comfortable in your own skin, you start earning money. You start, you're in a good place. And uh, and I think that is more important than following a certain image of a millionaire, that you saw on your feed and just trying to be that person, which you're not. Um, that's finding your answer. The question, the question of why. Finding that is more important, and it shouldn't be money. Because if that is money, then you have a problem. Because if you will run after money, there's a chance that
You could do everything for money.
yeah, and then it's not. And I learned this when I was a musician too. When I was doing a certain type of music, and I wanted music to be my to pay the bills. I didn't want to do anything else. Music, I love doing music. I want to make that my career. But what happened was I was getting gigs that I didn't want to go to, but because I wanted the money to pay the bills, I had to accept those gigs, and it was really shitty corporate gigs that I shouldn't have done it. It was well paid, but my band hated it. I hated it. The crowd was not into us. It was
You were not feeling it.
it was not, yeah. It was very discouraging and it was like shitty, and we're like, so, so money is not everything. The moment you sell your passion for money, it's not a good road to travel. It's
So you think? So you say when you sell your passion to money, it's not a way, right? But you think we gotta, or entrepreneurs out there gotta sell, right? They gotta sell skill set. They gotta sell what they gotta sell.
skill set and a vision. Make everyone has everyone has to say something about their lives. If it's a product, it can be a product. It can be anything, but it has to be something that's close to your heart. Because if it grows eventually, you will be making that product and spending time making that product more than anything else. If you're, for example, you make this shirt,
Yeah, clothing brand.
and if this becomes the number one shirt all over the world, everyone wants it. You will be making more of these shirts, and most of your day will be spent on the fabric, the quality, the packages,
Marketing stuff.
marketing,
Yeah.
and the how they're stitching and the
Everything.
factory and the logos, and so that will be your life. That's the highest you can be.
Yeah.
So you have to love what you do to be able to take it.
Yeah.
Because and again, there's another example that it's in my life. I wanted to earn money to pay for my studio time as a musician.
Yeah.
So what I started doing is that I was doing wedding videos and photography because that was a cash cow. I was good at it. I was good with the camera. I was good with photography. People loved what I do. I didn't like that. I hated doing wedding because in Pakistan it's not 1 day wedding. It's a 3-day wedding. Sometimes it's 4 days wedding.
God damn.
And it's painful, to stand there to shoot. I don't sit the entire day, and it's an important day for them. And it's the one person who's capturing that day hates it. I didn't like it. And eventually I was so busy, people loved it, and I was getting a lot of money for these things, and I was not happy with it. And and one day I just said I don't want to do it anymore because I was not I messed up a few weddings because I didn't want to do it, and I messed their videos and photography, and it was a special day for them. So you shouldn't be doing something that you don't like, just for money, because eventually if you become successful, your entire time will be spent on that task, which you don't like. So don't do it.
Yeah.
So money should not be your first priority, because if you become successful, then
I keep with a word that you said. So you gotta love what you do. You think the answer is love? Do you think the real answer is love?
absolutely, it's either love or fear. That's what Jim Carrey says.
Okay.
You should always choose love, not fear. If you compromise and you get a 9-to-5 job, it doesn't pay you well, but you wanna make videos of stop animation of like Lego characters, and you're stuck in a 9-to-5. I mean, you got to choose love. I've followed a lot of these guys who make these kind of videos, and now they're earning a lot of good money out of it. But yeah, a lot of people tell me, do that, and it's going to give you views, and you can make an Instagram profile out of it, and you will get a lot of followers, and there's a lot of people making money. Why don't you do it? And I was like, I don't like it enough. I mean, for that person, making a video of Lego characters is his entire day, and he loves it. And he didn't start that profile knowing that he will be earning money through it. Yeah. But money is a byproduct, and now he earns money through it. But that was not why he started doing it.
I think the same as you. Money follows you if you're doing something you like.
Yeah,
fantastic. I wanna get into, so when we met, it was in a pitch deck, right? You were helping young entrepreneurs or young people that have brilliant, good ideas, etc. Why?
Yeah. Well, I have always been trying to give back to the younger. I see a lot of myself in the younger crowd, especially entrepreneurs that are starting out. I know they're a little lost, and somehow they're looking at me as a mentor. So I want to give back, and uh, in a way that I never got. I saw a lot of my mentors and people who taught us, and they said some things that I didn't like, and they were not. They were a mentor figure for me until they said something really mean and disgusting, and I was like, I was lost, and I found my way on my own. But I want to give back to the younger crowd, and that was one of the reasons why I was there. And what I was offering on the pitch deck is that I want to feature um,
Hold the commentary.
on the episode of People Next Door. Yeah, and just share my wisdom and put them out there, and whoever comes and asks for help and guidance, I would love to guide them in whatever in however way possible.
You think that you got lost because these mentors obviously didn't do a good job as a mentor? How you think you do a good job as a mentor?
Because I'm honest. I think a lot of people aren't honest. They have their own motives, and they sometimes are jealous too. Especially in the media field, a lot of the guidance that you get, it doesn't come from a secure place, and they would either tell you that you're not good enough, or they will throw all the knowledge at you and tell you, this is the right way to do it and that is the wrong way to do it. And the problem with that is, and I tell that to everyone, is the position where you think that you need to unlearn something that you've learned through the time, just so that you can learn something new. Yeah. That place is not a good place, because that you're trying to take out something that you've learned from your past, and you're good at it, and you're trying to erase that to learn something new that this person is saying, but that is his reality, and that might not be true for you.
Every path is unique.
Yeah. So I met some of my mentors back home when I started out as a musician, and I remember this guy was laughing at it. My video was very comedic, and he said, "Why haven't you done like a certain fusion music, like take Indian classical and mix it up with some pop or jazz or blues? Why have you done it?" Mm-hmm. And this is the reason why you're not doing well with because in his mind, he had this certain thing that he has in mind that he thought was success.
Yeah.
And he didn't measure me as a successful musician. And then he said, you need to do this. And because I respected him, and I was like, okay. And then one night, 2 nights, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, maybe he's right. But that's not my style. Yeah. If I do that, then I'm compromising on my own voice.
Yeah.
Which is the worst thing you can do as an artist, to be someone else's voice just so you become successful. I mean, that's against what my purpose is, which is the triangle. Yeah. If the message is coming from above, I need to be sincere to it and use it wisely and choose the right medium for it, and it needs to be authentic.
Yeah,
and it shouldn't be just so I could get some success out of it.
There's a framework that Ryan Holiday stated on a book called Ego is the Enemy. Is the plus, the minus, and the equal sign. The plus is from where you get knowledge, mentors, people, God, videos, books, whatever is your source of knowledge. Minus, to who you mentor to who you teach what you know, who you guide to, right? And then the equal, who you a little bit like challenge yourself with, to see who has more strength on the same battlefield. I want to ask you one question. Who's your plus? Who's your minus? Who's your equal? Maybe not who is, but what are these things for you?
Can you ask that question again?
Sure.
Yeah.
So there's a plus,
Mhm.
there's a minus, and there's an equal on this in this framework.
Right.
Plus, from where you take your information, what guides you, what
Right.
mentor, could be a book,
Yeah.
could be a
Yep.
whatever you want,
Right.
podcast, whatever you want. Minus, who you give this to.
Right.
Not what you know, right? What you know, what you have experienced, what
Right.
are your thoughts,
Yeah.
what's your wisdom,
Right.
how you give it to, and who's your equal, who you challenge all this with, right? Could be a situation in life, could be a person specifically, could be a company, could be a competition, whatever you want to state it. I want to know, to you, Jason, what is plus, what is mine, what is equal in your life?
Okay, so my plus would be, I'm listening to Osho. I've read that book, The Power of Now. Helped me so much. Before that, I read this book called Think and Grow Rich.
Love it. Napoleon Hill.
I've read that book like 10 times, and I actually applied those rules, and it really worked for me. It changed my life. It changed my life. And the second would be The Power of Now, which changed me. So I am working on being present and at all times just staying in the now. And that's my mission for now. Like I don't want to think about the future. I don't want to think about the past. And I was that guy who's either in the past or he's thinking about the future and getting anxiety.
That's what I was going.
And yeah, so right now my plus is getting in the now. You know, if you know, and small things like you're washing your hands and you're feeling your hands and you're being in present. You're eating slowly. You know, things like that. And it has helped me. I've been in Vancouver it's just been 3 weeks, and it is the first time I've been living alone. So in my 20s, I was not. I've never, like, people do that in their 20s, or maybe as soon as they're 19 or 20. But back home in Pakistan, you live with your parents.
Yeah.
I was living with my parents, and then I got married, and me and my wife, we were living with my parents. Yeah. So when I came to Canada, I came with my wife and kid. But even then, I mean, I was spoiled in a way. I was with my wife. I was not alone. This is the first time I'm alone. 3 weeks. I'm surviving alone. I didn't know how to cook, you know. So no chores. I've done no chores. But now I'm learning to survive on my own. So I'm practicing this the power of now, and being present, and exploring the new city, meeting everyone. That's how I met you. My minus would be I everything that I do, if it's a song, if it's a documentary project, if it's going in colleges and giving out my being a mentor and guiding youngsters, whatever that I've learned through life is something that will be my minus. And I've and why I consider that is because I've jumped a lot of times in life, not thinking how where will I land. I'm not thinking about what will come out of it. And there was a 9% chance that I will just fall down and fucking die.
Yeah,
but it never happened. Every time that I've jumped, I did get some bruises, but I landed on a place which it has always been good to me, and I've never compromised, even on my worst times. My worst times, I've never compromised on my dream. In fact, what I've done is, and I would like other people to do the same, especially youngsters. What we do is, when we feel we're lost and nothing is working for us, and what we do is compromise. Compromise on our dream, and we think, maybe that is not working for me. Maybe I should do something lower than what I'm aiming for the time being, and that is the wrong move. Because maybe what the destiny wants from you is for you to be higher than that. So what you're aiming for maybe is not it's not meant for you. Maybe you should aim for the higher, because maybe that's where the gift is for you. So that's I'm practicing that too. If I meet someone and I feel that that lead is good for Stooners, or if it's good for my brand or whatever, and it doesn't happen, and I get rejected or something, I apply for the even bigger lead, bigger jump. And same goes for the acting business, where rejection is the norm. I get rejected every day.
No, until the yes come.
Yeah. And then every time I'm getting a bigger role, I'm applying for bigger clients, meeting. If one client doesn't agree with me, I search the biggest in the biggest fish in the pond, and I just send an email to them saying that, this is what I do. Let's work together. So choose something higher. Don't choose anything lower, and don't compromise on your dream. Yeah, that's something that I would say. And equals, how do you mean? Like equal as in my competitors, or?
No, not really. It could be whatever where you challenge your strength with. So I can give you my equal.
Yeah.
I find myself always with my equal. My equal is literally my positive anxiety.
Right.
I'm the guy that thinks in the future.
Right.
I don't forget living my now. I love this conversation.
Right.
A lot of takeaways here. I love to connect with you, and I'm living my now. But my mind, in a sort of way, before going to bed, is like, damn it.
Right.
What's going tomorrow?
Yeah.
What's going the day after tomorrow?
Right.
And that's my challenging, because there's where big fan of philosophy, stoicism, etc. Same books as you.
Mm-hmm.
How do I set now?
Yeah.
Right? How do I put my feet on the land and I start a little bit walking instead of watching?
Yeah.
It's a big difference. That's my equal,
Okay, so
it could also be your competitors and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't like to compete with other people. I like to compete with myself, right? My today, my yesterday. I want to be better every day. But that's why my equal is my positive anxiety. People call it excitement, but I like to call it positive anxiety.
Yeah. How do you think about the future? You think when you're trying to sleep, or is that how you?
Actually, when my days go off, I'm like, what a great day.
Yeah.
This were my takeaways. So happy that I was able to do that. I'm always grateful. I think it's a good practice that I have, and I really encourage people to do. But before bed, I'm like, can't damn sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling the power of the day, and I'm saying like, wow, like, shit is gonna be good. But that thing don't let me sleep.
Exactly.
I have an awful sleep. I sleep like 5 hours to 6 hours maximum, man.
I've stopped doing that. I used to do it. I used to think about it and, imagine myself in this place that I want to be.
Do you think it's a bad thing?
That's a bad thing.
Really?
What I've tried, what I do now.
Okay. I wanna get deep into that.
Go to the gym, and when you're doing your cardio, when you're on your treadmill, that's the best place where you need to visualize your manifestation.
Oh, I know.
Because you're walking, you've got this, blood flow going. You're in a higher energy.
Wow.
There's blood
Never
pumping.
thought about that.
That's what you need, that energy, and then you run and you take that out, and in your mind you think about it, where you want to be.
Yeah.
And what we do is, when we're manifesting, we see ourselves as a third person.
Yes.
In that situation.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Try to do the first person.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew that trick, right?
Yeah.
I knew that trick. I always go to myself to first person.
Yeah.
But getting back to that was a nice takeaway. What's your equal?
I still didn't understand that question, by the way.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's like with what's something that challenged you, and that you need to apply your wisdom, your everyday wisdom.
Yeah.
To make it work.
I would say that, my current mission is to just be in the now. And it's really hard to accept it. It's really hard to make that a practice. It becomes really difficult at times. I move around. I go back in the past again. Sometimes I go in the future, and really stress about it. But I've managed to come down again in the now. Every time I go up, or every time I go down, I manage to come in the center and find my center and just be in it. And I'm getting good sleep now, and it's, living alone really helps you to ground yourself in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a little bit like out of the of the conversation, but you like books. You love books.
Yeah.
I love books too. Top 5.
Yeah.
Out there.
Right.
Non-negotiable. They need to read it.
Right. Think and Grow Rich. Maybe you can just read it a few times. There's lots of gold in it.
Takeaways, yeah.
Power of Now. There's Osho's book that I will be reading. It's on my list. Sex to Superconscious. I think so.
Okay.
That's the name. There was this Alchemist. Again, Alchemist is also
love it.
Good book. What else? I can't think of a name right now. Power of Now, the same writer. New World. I think it's New World.
Gotcha.
Yeah, really good concept. He talks about the now again in his next book, but where he comes from is really good. The Sapiens, I'm still reading it.
Sapiens?
The Sapiens.
Okay, I haven't read that one.
Great history about us all and how we developed the whole civilization and everything. Really helps you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I heard this recently, and it really struck a chord that you need to know the past, because the past repeats itself, and if it doesn't repeat, it usually rhymes.
Yes.
So you need to know the past. Where are we? Where did we come from?
90% of predict comes, not actually 90.
Yeah.
100% of predict comes from the past.
Past.
Yeah.
We don't like whatever we've made so far as being humans. It's just like 4,000 years ago.
Yeah.
6,000, 10,000. But before that, like, we've got millions and millions years of history. So our biology is more older than what we think about.
Yeah.
So our body says the truth, but our mind has an ego in it.
Yeah.
So knowing that really helps you. You try to understand. This is my instinct speaking.
Yeah.
Why am I feeling that way? Maybe did this whole culture told me to do it? Did this culture told me to feel this way? So questioning that really helps you to know who you are and why you're feeling the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I would like to recommend you one book here now live.
Yeah.
I think you don't get along, or not along, but it's not like the type of book you like to read. It's called The Four.
The Four.
The Four of Scott Galloway.
Okay.
It's about the 4 biggest companies in the world.
Right.
Facebook, Google, Apple, and Amazon.
Right.
But what is really funny is that, well, a lot of Think and Grow Rich. You're going to find things from there. They're going to talk directly of what these 4 companies are doing.
Oh,
it's
The Four.
Interesting. If you can have a conversation with those 2 books. It's a really fun activity. I'll highly recommend you to do that.
Okay, cool.
I actually, it was a pretty funny thing. I was reading back this book like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always come back to the books and read it again.
Yeah.
I was coming back to this book.
There's one more book.
Go ahead, please.
It's called Jump.
Jump. Okay.
And it's by this famous host in American TV, a dark guy with mustache, and he comes to suit.
I know who is that. Okay, yeah, I know who it is. I don't remember the name, but I know that the book you're talking about is my book list.
Jump.
Yeah.
And the way he was a comedian first, and how he became the TV. Such an inspiring story.
Matthew McConaughey is another one. Green Light.
I did.
Yeah.
I read that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, getting away from the book thing, we can end the podcast like that. I would like to get into the personal space.
Okay.
What would you say to the younger version of Jasim?
Yeah.
One thing you would say to him. I mean, could be a phrase, could be a word, and then you develop it. Why, right? It's not like you got to say.
Yeah, well, because, different phases of my life, I was a different person. I would say that I need to accept certain facts and go where it hurts. Do what is important, even if it hurts. against my personality. And
Wow.
yeah, I've learned that way because I was so shy I couldn't present. And then there was this one time I had a presentation the next morning, and night before I was talking to a friend, and I told her, I'm really scared. I wanna, and she laughed. She said, "LOL." Back then we used to chat on Emerson Messenger, and she said, "That's your entire life we're talking. You will be presenting your entire life." And I was like, "It's not true. I am a filmmaker. I mean." And then I became a musician, and then I'm stage, I'm presenting, I'm playing songs and everything, and
That would make sense.
I'm documentary, I'm doing speeches, like being an entrepreneur, you need to go up there, talk about it. And now being an actor, it's all about presentation. So I broke that, my stage fear. I came out, and eventually there was this journalist who, when I performed and I came down, and he said, you're not just not only a good musician, you're also a good entertainer." And it stuck with me. I was like, I was such a shy guy in all my school days, and now people think that I'm a good performer. So that's huge. So I came out, and I explored that part of me in acting and music, and I was surprised to find that I was actually really good on stage. I thought I suck at it, but I don't. And then again, I was really bad at socializing. People used to say being an entrepreneur, you need to go out there, you need to meet people, and I hate that. I'm not a social person. I stay by myself a lot. I'm always in my creative space, in my studio, either writing something, writing ideas, writing songs, writing concepts, documentaries, doing research, reading books and everything, and just going out and meeting people. I'm one of those person who can't be fake. And when you go out, you need to be fake. And I didn't like that much. And now I think I'm finding myself, that I'm not being fake, and I'm going out there presenting myself, talking to people, and I'm not scared of it. I'm not social. I'm not getting any social anxiety anymore. And and you know and this is what I would say to my younger self, that the few things that I did not want to do back then is my strengths, and I should accept it. And if I accepted that earlier on in my life, I think I would have been in a different place. And I must have, I would have seen a lot of success. Maybe had a lot of different experiences too.
Love it.
Yeah.
And if you, just for finalizing, and this will be the last question, what would you say to young people out there?
Yeah.
If they need one takeaway from this conversation, or something that you want them to keep,
Yeah.
what would it be?
I would say that believe in your inner voice, because the inner voice doesn't shout; it whispers. And nobody, and everyone who's talking bad shit and pretending that they know more than you, nobody knows enough to be a pessimist about anything. Nobody knows anything. I mean, everyone has their own experiences. Everyone has their own perspectives about things, and that is their reality. So don't let anyone think that what you're doing doesn't make a difference or it's not good enough. Believe in yourself. Because, nobody knows enough to be pessimist about anything.
Yeah. Thanks, Jasim.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've been there when people laugh at you. I've been there, and it always comes down to, and I realized that when I'm a little bit much older.
Yeah.
What are they doing now?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I followed my thing, right?
Yeah.
And I was inner peace, like in love with what I was doing. And I'm in peace with what I'm doing right now. But what are they doing?
Yeah.